Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to ASMRtists Around the World, a series where we learn about other cultures in a relaxing way. I'm your host, Sharon, and today we are traveling to Nigeria with Shuga ASMR. I'm going to be asking her a bunch of questions with this handy dandy travel journal. So let's get started. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited, although a tiny bit of being scared.
You will be fantastic. Tell us who you are and a little bit about Nigeria.
Well, I'm Shuga ASMR. I am an ASMRtist, of course. And my channel mostly deals with medical role plays. I am a Capricorn. I love anime, music, and books. And yeah, I think that's it. Then for Nigeria, we are one of the most populous country in Africa, basically in West Africa. We are also the home of jollof rice, yay. And we're just really loving people that just really like to do our best. Yeah.
That's great. And one of the things I actually had as a question here was because there's so many different types of people in Nigeria, I also read that there are so many different languages too.
Yeah.
So what would you say are some common phrases that are good to know as a traveler?
When it comes to languages, there are actually, I think, over 500 languages just in Nigeria alone, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So the three major languages so far are Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. And then if you want to learn some greetings, when it comes to Igbo, it is Otutuoma, which is good morning. For Yoruba, it will be Ekairo. And then for Hausa, it will be Inakwana. But I think since the languages are so much, the best thing for a traveler to learn would be the Nigerian pidgin. So it is just like a broken English. So if you do want to say hello in Nigerian pidgin, you would say, how far? And then if you want to say, how you doing? You would say, how you day?
Perfect. Now I'm all set. All right. So then, what would you say are some of the most relaxing things to do in Nigeria?
The most relaxing thing to do? Well, from my own experience, I would say one of the most relaxing things would be just having a fun day at the beach. It's like the best thing ever. You got sand in your feet, you got the waves, and then you could stay to see the sunset. It's basically like its own natural ASMR. That's if someone is not blasting music. So that is like one of the best things. Of course, we've got other locations you can always visit. They've got parks, they've got resorts, they've got even clubs. Yeah, it's actually nice to go clubbing. So yeah, that could be relaxing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Now, what is one of your favorite foods?
Oh my gosh, my favorite food ever would be Egusi soup and semovita. Of course, I can also take that with fufu. So it is a Nigerian delicacy that involves using melon seeds. You get to dry it and then fry it and then just use it to make one of the best soups ever. I could actually give you a recipe if you want it.
Yes, please do.
It's actually very simple. You just gotta get your meat first. That is, if you are using meat, you just have to season that and then boil it just so you get all the season inside. Then once you're done boiling it, you cook it properly to make sure it's soft and it's tender. Then you're done with that, and then you put it aside. I think I should have started with the ingredients, but let's just go on. So what you need next is to fry your already grounded egusi. So in that grounded egusi, you need to add crayfish, you need to add what they call Okpehe. It's just like it's a seasoning, and it's grinded with the goose itself. So you gotta fry all of that together in palm oil, also known as red oil. You don't use olive oil, you don't use granite oil, you have to use palm oil. So you just fry that in palm oil, and it takes a few minutes. You just normally I say I like to make sure it looks separated, like when it's starting to separate and when it smells really nice, I'm like, okay, this really looks good. But since it's just the viewers, I would say you should time it for 5 to 7 minutes. You constantly have to be there to be turning the whole thing, unless it just gets burnt really quickly. So once you're done with that, you add your meat water inside that fried egusi, and then you add extra water to give it, like, because you don't just want to have very extra thick soup, so you add a little water just to give it volume and to make sure it's a nice texture. Then you cook that, and then let's say you cook it for 2 minutes. Then you add grounded pepper and crayfish. You can grind it, you can blend it, and then you add your seasoning, which is the salt, the Maggi, and you also get to add dried fish. We use dried fish here. It serves as a seasoning and is also really tasty. So you add all those inside and you just let it cook together. And let's say after 10 minutes you taste it. We don't really use measurements here, so we basically just have to get the right taste. So you taste it, make sure it's perfect to your liking. If it's not, you can add extra seasoning. If it's okay, then you put your Ugwu leaf, which is pumpkin leaf. Leave it for 2 minutes and you are done.
Cool. All right. Well, speaking of food, what is some really popular candy in Nigeria?
Well, I would say we do have some sweets, that we do have here, the buttermint, butterscotch, and the rest, but most of our candies are actually imported, so every kind of candy you have there, the Snickers, the Bounty, we basically have it here because we just import everything. So I don't really think we have a particular candy. I just think we have all the candies we can get. Yeah,
even better.
That's it.
All right. Now, what hotspots would you recommend travelers to visit in Nigeria?
And this is a really tricky question because there's so many places. There's so many states, and within those states they're really awesome places. But so far I've been mostly to Lagos, so I would just be given at my own hotspot from that area. So I think one of the best places would be the beach that do have here, like the Egusi beach, the Takwa Bay beach. But there are also some really awesome places that you can also check. Like you can go to the Lekki Conservative Park, you can go to the Freedom Park, you can even go to the Lekki Market, which is mad. Like, it's so large, there's basically everything there. Like, for a tourist, that would just be like an amazing spot to get so many souvenirs back home. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the Lekki Market. Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like a lucky place to be.
There's also the Kalakuta Republic Museum, which is like the home of Fela Kuti. He was like the, crazy Afro singer. He's amazing, he's lovely. So it's like a museum dedicated to him since it's actually his place. So yeah, that could be another hot spot for a tourist.
What about some activities? Like, what are some cool things we can do?
It depends on the time of the year a person will come, because there are tons of festivals, the tons of carnivals that do happen. I think most of them do occur during the Amber month. I do know, like the Calabar Festival, the Lekki Festival. But apart from that, I think just going around to the given hotspots, it can be nice, seeing the scenery, interacting with the people. Yeah, those can be really fun, but it would be cool to just mark your calendar according to the festivals and the carnivals, because those are just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Is there anything unique about some of the festivals that's like you can only do in Nigeria?
Yeah, we've got masquerades. We've got really dope masquerades. Like, there's some masquerades that we've had like ages, like hundreds of years ago, and they're still like being practiced. Like the tradition is still being kept alive, which is just really great because you get to see something like a heritage just being preserved for generations over generations. So every tribe has its own masquerade. It's crazy that even though we're so, yes, we're different in many ways, but every single tribe have their own masquerade, different colors, different design, and they're just so beautiful. So that is one very unique thing you get to see in the festivals.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're mostly meant to be like representative of the spirits of our forefathers. That is like what they're supposed to represent. So look at them like our forefathers are within us, gathered to celebrate with us. So yeah.
So cool. Now, I know that you mentioned, I think, a museum that was dedicated to a popular artist. Are there any other iconic Nigerian singers that you'd like to mention?
Well, apart from Fela Kuti, we also have Osadebe, which was an amazing Igbo singer. He was so famous, he traveled around the world, and he's well known for his high life music, which is just, really slow, deep, with Afro beats inside. It's just, he made one of the most legendary songs ever. So he's one of the greatest icons till now known for high life. Yeah, the high life I think is mostly related to the Igbos, and just really like slow, not reggae, but just slow beat songs that are with mostly traditional instruments inside. Yeah.
Now, I also read that Nigeria is actually the world's second largest film industry and is referred to as Nollywood.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Nigerian movie?
Wow. Okay. So Nollywood has really grown over the years, and they are making really amazing films. But I think this is really hard. But I think my favorite movie so far would be Isoken. It is a movie that really talked about or tackled a lot of the stereotypes that still occur, sadly. So they film a character, they film a lead, who is called Isoken, of course. She's a successful, powerful, wonderful lady that is, I think, around 36 or 34 years old. And although she's happy and she's got everything in life, there's this approach of her family, like she's like a failure just because she wasn't married. So you got parts where her mother is always like breathing on her neck, like, you gotta get married, you're old, you can't, it's not normal to just be old and not married. And you get to see that kind of approach even from her family members. So her mother tries to set her up with a guy, just to help her daughter get married. But what was so beautiful was that at the end of it all, she doesn't stick to the whole, acceptable, like what is acceptable, like you gotta get married to your tribal person. Instead, she falls in love with a white guy, which honestly, it's just it's seen here, like it's crazy, like you leave your fellow Nigerian and you're marrying someone from another continent. But it basically breaks the stereotype, like you can love who you want to love. Like love is love. It doesn't matter your nationality, your race, your status, your age, or anything. It's just the storyline was love is love, and you're allowed to love who you want to love. You're allowed to be with who you love. So I think because of that message, it is just my absolute favorite movie so far. Yeah. And I think we're mostly in the comedy genre because lots of the films I've watched, they're mostly just like comedy based, like lots of comedies or lots of traditional based. But regardless, Nollywood is growing. We're trying to do our best. We're getting better, and I believe we'll grow more. Yeah. So you can give it a try and just check it out.
Are there any cultural nuances unique to Nigeria that you can share?
I think one of the major ones would be the tribes. Because we are just so many, it is just, honestly, it's a little bit scary because it's like it's such a little country, but yet we're just so divided by tribe. Like even in one state, you can find up to 20 tribes just in one state. So that alone is just like it's pretty crazy. Because they do have like a segregation, like I'm from this tribe and you're from that tribe. And another thing would be definitely our religion. Nigeria is mainly Christian, but Christianity is not all that is here. We've still got Islamics, and we've still got the traditional religious people. So that is also something that has caused quite a clash as well. Yeah, so those are the cultural differences, the main cultural differences so far. Yeah.
Do you have an ashirke? And can you explain what that is?
I do have an ashirke, and basically it is a headgear. It is material used as a headgear, and it is mostly used by the Yorubas, but so far it has been adopted by other tribes, and henceforth it is used by many Nigerians, not just the Yorubas, as a headgear. This is what it looks like. This is basically just one. This is actually my mom's. But this is what the material looks like, and it has a kind of rough feeling about it. I guess I do like the fact that it is rough, because then it makes the sound, which is pretty nice. And honestly, the ashoke is quite difficult to tie. Like, you just can't tie it anyhow. You basically have to style it properly. So people actually go for classes to properly learn how to tie the ashoke. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Now let's talk about school. Is it expensive to study in Nigeria?
We do have government schools here that serves as a means to help and to encourage people to go to school, which is like really cheap, but much attention is not paid to it. like, the teachers, maybe the structures are not really well taken care of, in comparison to private schools, which, got really great teachers, nice structures, good environment. But those can actually be quite expensive, especially when you like go towards the higher institution. You can have as much as, let me say, a semester in a private school for university could be as close as 400 to 500,000 naira, which could roughly be like $1,000 US. Yeah, so private are very expensive. Government can be quite cheap.
What about for the work life? How much time off do people normally get once they hit that adulthood?
Well, I'm basically a freelance writer. I'm like a freelancer, so I don't really have an experience in that category, but I do have a good number of friends, and from what they've told me, they really do not have that much time for themselves. They basically have to work and then even put extra to basically to show like, we're doing a good job, we deserve this, we're not slacking off. Because I think the situation in Nigeria, being the fact that we have a large number of unemployed people, like our unemployment rate is so high. So when you get to find work, you try to make sure you do your best to maintain that. So sometimes they could ask you to stay extra hours, and you don't want to sound like you're not, serious. You don't want to be like, oh, sorry, I've got a game to watch, or I've got this to attend. So you just gotta stay back and do your best and just put in that effort. So from what I've heard, not really. I don't think they have that much time. I think they could stay for as much as going by 6 and coming back by, well, 6 to 6, sometimes 6 to 7, 8. So no, I don't really think they have that much time. I think that's why many people try to be self-employed and just have their own businesses to manage. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. Okay, now for the last few fun questions. Okay. What has been one of your favorite places to visit in Nigeria?
I did not travel much, honestly, but I've gone to some few places, I guess. But so far, my favorite still has to be Lagos. In particular, the beach. The beach is just so fun for me. I honestly think I might have been a water spirit in my previous life because I just love to go there. And Egusi beach in Lagos is just absolutely amazing and absolutely fun. If anyone just happens to drop by, just check it out. It's cool. It's awesome.
Is there a place you would like to go?
Is there? Of course. So many places I would love to visit. Definitely want to check out Paris, the city of love. I've just been fascinated by it for a long time. Would love to go to Japan, the home central of anime, so of course who wouldn't want to go there. I would love to go to the US just to see, I believe the US has just so much culture, there's a mixture of culture because it just, everyone is there. I think everybody in every country, there just has to be a representative in the United States. So I just really want to go there, just experience the fun, try the hot dog, and just, just have fun there. As well as the UK. The UK is like a home of history, and I would love to see that. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of places.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the most exciting parts of life is like being able to learn about other cultures and get new experiences. So
yeah, absolutely.
What is one thing that we haven't discussed that you think people should know about Nigeria?
Nigerians are, the people who are just trying their best to live a good life. we are actually very contented, and we're just super hopeful. Like, our hopefulness is just out of this world. We are so hopeful. Like, right now we've got lots of craziness happening in our country, but we just believe like so much, tomorrow is gonna be better, next year is gonna be better, next 2 years is gonna be better. So we are just like that is just us. We're hardworking, we're hopeful, we're contented. And although I do know we have a fair share of bad people, but I guess that everyone has their fair share of bad people. But regardless, we just try to do our best and be the people that we want to see in others, good, nice, kind, lovely, and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, then, let's go ahead and cap it off with an ASMR trigger.
Yay.
Why don't you show us one of your favorite triggers?
So recently I have been experimenting with layer sounds, and many times I just try to put it in my videos because I just love, the fact that they just add much more to the videos and make it more relaxing and tingly. And I've been playing around with some raps, and I found this one, and I just absolutely love the crinkly sound it gives. I think if you watch my videos, I use this like almost all my videos right now. It is just so nice. I want to be careful because it can get a little bit loud, but it can be so relaxing.
I'm already getting the tingles through my earphones here.
Are you serious? I just absolutely love this guy, honestly. And I know if I'm gonna get it too much, I might take a break because all of my videos now just have this guy as the background sound. But it's just absolutely amazing, so I don't mind. That'll be all.
Thank you so much again for coming and chatting with me today. And everyone, make sure to check out Shuga ASMR's channel for some more amazing content from her.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. It is an absolute pleasure. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, then I'm going to wrap it up with a flutters away. So I hope everyone has a relaxing rest of their day and flutters away. Bye for now.
Bye.